Good morning, boys and girls. It is PBS Friday, and right now you should be in your PBS lessons. If you remember from last month, we had watched a video on the Energy Bus for Kids by Jon Gordon. This book talks about 5 rules for having a positive ride through life. So today we're going to reread part of the story together, and we're going to talk about the very first rule, which is to have a positive vision. So let's look at the story together. If you remember from last month, our main character is a young boy named George. It was Monday, and Mondays were never good for George. He always woke up late and grumpy. He stayed up too late the night before. He got hooked on a video game. He went to bed way too late and had another argument with his sister Georgette. On top of all of this, his mom was upset with him too because he was late for the bus and still had not eaten his breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day, she would say. And George knew she was right, but he was too tired and he had to hurry to catch his bus. As George ran to the bus stop with his very heavy backpack, he could see bus 11 slowly pulling away. George was upset. He wanted to cry, but he didn't. He just put his head down and wondered to himself, what else could possibly go wrong? Boys and girls, have you ever had a day like that? We all have. But luckily, as the bus driver drove away, she saw George. She stopped the bus and she yelled out the window, "I wouldn't leave you. Come on, get on the bus." This bus driver wasn't his usual bus driver. He had never seen her before. She told him that her name was Joy, and she had the biggest smile that George had ever seen. He told her that his name was George, and then he sat down in the very first seat. "What got you down, and what's got you with a frown on your face?" Joy asked. "Everything's just going wrong today," said George. "But that's okay, George, because you're on my bus now, and I call it the Energy Bus. Sit down, because I'm going to teach you some rules that will take you on a positive ride through life." "Are you ready to learn the first rule?" Joy asked. "If you are, say yes 3 times. George and all the kids on the bus shouted, "Yes, yes, yes." Boys and girls, are you ready to learn the first rule? Here we go. Joy told the kids the first rule to having a positive ride through life was 1, create a positive vision. When you're on the bus going to school in the morning, think about having a great day. When you're on the bus on the way home in the evening, picture yourself having a great night, she said. When you think about your future, imagine yourself accomplishing all of your goals and your dreams. Joy continued, if you can see it, then you can create it. If you have a vision, then you also have the power to make it happen. This is powerful. So let's read that again together, boys and girls. If you can see it, you can create it. And if you have a vision, then you have the power to make that vision happen. As George waited for class to begin, he thought about what Joy had said that morning about creating a positive vision. He imagined himself getting an A+ on his spelling test today, and then he imagined himself hitting a home run on at his baseball game on Saturday. Then he remembered something his teacher had also told him. If you can write it down and draw a picture of it, then those dreams become important to you. So George took out a piece of paper and he drew a picture of a spelling test with a big A+ at the top. He also drew a picture of himself smashing a home run at his Saturday baseball game. George knew that these pictures, these positive visions would help him remember. So he folded his drawing up and he put them in his pocket. That afternoon, as George walked to the bus, Joy gave him the biggest smile and asked for him to sit in the front seat so they could talk. How was school, she asked. Did you have a better day? It was a little bit better, George answered. I felt happier, and I'm pretty sure I got an A+ on my spelling test. I still had to deal with a few challenges, though, he said. We're going to stop there, boys and girls, and together as a class, you're going to talk about having a positive vision. Have a great day.